Welcome back to Brawlmaster Unscripted. This is the segment where I answer an assortment of questions, be they thoughtful or stupid. Let's start off with a question from Vincent Los Benuso. My apologies for probably butchering that. What do you think of the upcoming Sonic movie coming in 2018? It is distributed by Sony Columbia, produced by Tim Miller, the Deadpool director, and Neil H. Moritz, the Fast and the Furious creator. It will be CGI live action with 80 to 90% being CGI, and humans will not be the main characters. I am hyped. What do you think? Do you think it will do well financially? I really have no real opinion on this. I never saw any of the movies that you mentioned there, so I don't have any sort of comparisons or any idea of their qualifications for putting a movie like this together. The more CGI, the better, probably, because that live action fan film that we saw a while back was pretty awful, and that's a pretty good indication of how not to do it. So if it's animated and it's CG, that's probably the right direction to go in. But I really don't have much more to say on it until we can see an actual trailer or get any kind of indication of what the movie is actually going to look like. Financially, it'll probably do really well. I mean, it's Sonic. Even though he's not like the most consistent quality-wise, he's always really popular, and people will always go and pay to see it, to take their kids to see it. So even if it looks bad, I'm sure it'll do well. But it's a bit early to be commenting on how it's going to be, just based off of these little tidbits we have so far, I'd say. Next question comes from Kamen Rider 64. In Ash's battle against Richie in the Indigo League, what if Ash didn't have his Charizard, but instead he had his Kingler and used it against Richie's Zippo and then Sparky? Well, it would probably do well against Zippo, which I believe that was his Charmander. I'm not sure. The fact that he used weird nicknames always threw me off. I'm pretty sure that was his Charmander. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if he's using Kingler against it, he's probably going to do well because it's water versus fire. But then if he's going up against Sparky too, that's probably a bit harder since it's electric versus water, so he loses his advantage. In this case, Ash probably would have won, or at least would have done a hell of a lot better than he actually did, if for no other reason than the fact that in the real episode he lost because his Charizard was being stubborn and refused to fight. So in this case, it's more of a type battle sort of thing of who can get the advantage. But then again, this doesn't necessarily guarantee he would win, because as we have seen time and time again, the anime does not like to remain consistent with type advantages, and it kind of makes up its own rules here and there. So there's no guarantee that Ash would have won in this hypothetical situation, but I think he would have done a hell of a lot better than he did in the actual episode. That's for sure. Next question comes from Captain Blackeye. How do you feel that Super Smash Bros. Brawl is almost 10 years old? Oh dear God, it makes me feel old as fuck. I mean, have I really been doing this shit for nearly 10 years now? Almost a decade? Wow, where did all the time go? Next question comes from Red Thunder Gaming. When you play a video game, what time of the day do you like to play it in? The morning, the afternoon, or the evening? For me, I like to play in the evening just because it helps me relax and unwind after a really busy day. I don't really play in the morning or even in the afternoon because when I'm up and about during the day, I usually have something else that I need to be doing. So if I'm sitting there playing a game, it makes me feel like I'm blowing something off in favor of playing the game, even if I'm not. Like, even during the summer and the winter when I'm off from school and I don't have anything else to do, I just don't feel right playing a video game in the middle of the day because I feel like I'm burning daylight, like I'm wasting time inside just playing a video game. Even if that's not the case, I know I'm crazy like that. So I'd rather just play in the evening when it's already dark out, everybody is unwinding from the day, so it helps me relax, helps me relieve stress and get ready to unwind for the evening. Next question comes from Yoshi Freak 2000. Which Mario character do you hate the most? Probably gonna break some hearts with this one, but then again, when do I not do that? My character that I hate the most from Mario is probably Waluigi. I mean, he hasn't been in any main games or had any substantial roles for a reason. He's an ugly, awkward, lousy excuse for a rival to Luigi. And literally the only reason people like him is his meme status. They like to make jokes about him. That's literally the only likable characteristic he has, because he's so unlikable that it's funny, ironically, which I think that's almost kind of sad. I think that's kind of pathetic. But I mean, if you like Waluigi, that's fine. I'm not pinning you for it. I'm not condemning you or whatever just because you like him. But just don't try to come up to me and try to use his meme status as an argument for his legitimacy or why he should be considered more important to the Mario franchise than he actually is. Just watch, Nintendo's going to finally reveal some Waluigi game and everybody's going to lose their collective shit, and I'm just going to be over here not giving a fuck. Next question comes from Casual Collision. Have you seen the Infinity Train pilot? If so, what were your thoughts on it? And do you want it to be greenlit for a full series? Yeah, I saw it. It was good. It didn't blow me away or anything. I thought it was really creative and it was entertaining. So I would like to see it get greenlit alongside that other one. I need to be more specific. There are a million of them. I think it was called Welcome to My Life. It was that one about that monster kid going to high school or whatever. For some reason, I just really liked that one, and I'm crossing my fingers that that one will get greenlit too. But I doubt it'll happen for either that one or Infinity Train, unless Cartoon Network can learn to stop fetishizing over Teen Titans Go. We've got really great shows out there, but clearly Cartoon Network doesn't really care about them. Doesn't even care about the ones that are already airing, because all it cares about is Teen Titans Go. So we need to deal with that problem first before we even think about what other shows they could add. Next question comes from Adrian Christopher. What are your thoughts on a full-fledged Pokemon game hitting the Switch? And if they could bring back something from previous generations that you liked, what would it be? I think it's awesome that it's happening, and I can't wait to see more. I would love to say more about it, but we literally know nothing, except that it's coming. So maybe by E3 next year we'll have more information to go off of, and we'll have some kind of way to further discussion and go from there. But for now, just the idea that it's happening is really exciting, and I'm on board with it. As for what I would like to see, I don't know, maybe bringing back the ability to have a Pokemon following behind you. I know that's a really popular thing, and I'd love to see it come back too, especially now since the series is like in full 3D, so I think that'd be cool. Next question comes from Ness in Pajamas. Which Smash Bros. Special move do you feel the most satisfaction landing? Probably Cloud's forward smash, because it's 3 hits to solidify to your opponent the fact that they're utterly fucked when they get hit by it. Next question comes from SBox180. You're only 9 years old, and you love Shrek so much. You have all the merchandise. One night, you feel something warm towards you, and realize it's Shrek. You're so happy. He then whispers in your ear, "This is my swamp." What do? I think it's pretty simple. I accept him as my Lord and Savior. Then I allow him to have his way with me, because deep down, I know it's what I really want. Our final question comes from Rennick Bob Brawl 9931. What movie or game do you feel that should not have a sequel? Shoot, let me think about that. I'll go ahead and say I don't understand why people feel we need to have a Mario Galaxy 3. I really don't. I don't get why we need to have a Galaxy 3. Galaxy 1 and 2 were great just the way they were. Why do we need a third one? What could they possibly add? What ideas does anybody have for interesting or creative platforming gimmicks or designs that haven't already been implemented? I mean, the entire reason Galaxy 2 exists is because there was stuff they wanted to do in Galaxy 1 that they couldn't. And I really doubt that after a full second game that they still have stuff left over that they could use for a third game that probably hasn't already been repurposed for other Mario games that came out after Galaxy 2. Like, even if there was some element or something that they could have used that they didn't use in Galaxy 2 or Galaxy 1 that they could have used for Galaxy 3, how do we know that that element wasn't repurposed and used in Mario 3D World or even Mario Odyssey for that matter? So I really don't see why people are wanting a Galaxy 3 so much. And don't say better visuals, because that's way too obvious. I mean, they already looked amazing as they were, and they weren't even high definition games. So just making a third one just to have one actually be in HD is not a valid reason in my book. I mean, I don't even think we need Galaxy 1 and 2 to be remastered for the Switch, because they already looked fantastic on the Wii. So I just don't get it. Someone explain it to me. Why do we need to have a sequel to Galaxy 2 and have Galaxy 3? Is it just a trilogy thing? I really don't know. But personally, I don't think we need a Galaxy 3. I think Mario Odyssey was a great next direction for 3D Mario, and I can't wait to see where we go from there, but I really don't think Galaxy 3 is the way to go. I don't think it's the direction that Nintendo would take. Okay, that's all the time I have for this time, so once again, thanks for watching, and this has been Brawlmaster 12, signing off.